There we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to DelphiCon 2021. This is Jim McKeeth. This is our welcome to DelphiCon session where you get to come and get questions answered you have about DelphiCon and make sure you're able to connect okay and get an overview of the schedule for the day. Epic beer, yes. I look a little red on this video camera. Not sure why. I feel fine. Oh, my waves in the background. I will turn those off. They use a lot of bandwidth, apparently. Boop, they're frozen now. All right. So if you do have any questions, put them in the question panel, and I will address those questions if it's best I can. This is, like I said, is a introduction to DelphiCon. Make sure that you're familiar with how to connect, where to find things. If you're on this session, then clearly you've got the basics of it already figured out, but just wanted to overview the schedule as well. So, schedule for the day. This session we're in right now, and then after this session at top of the hour, so in 26 minutes, is Marco Cantu's keynote, Beyond 10X, the future of development with Delphi. Then we have Miguel's Convert Your VCL Database Application to Mobile and Multi-Platform. That one should be fantastic. Miguel really knows database stuff quite well. I've generally learned, I'm usually surprised what I learned from his sessions because it's always like, I think I know the deep topic, but then he does things that surprise me. So the times we're seeing here, these are in my time zone. When you visit this page, especially once you're logged in, you should see it in your time zone, but these are in my time zone. So right now it is 7:35. I'm gonna put up a, can I make a clock? So if you are registered, you are automatically registered for every talk. Where did the clock go? So here, we'll put this up here. I have a little thing. So right now I'm in Nampa, Idaho. It is 7:36 a.m. In Austin, Texas, Central Time, it is 8:36 a.m. So adjust as accordingly for your time zones. Made the screen full and can't make it back to normal window. Gosh, I'm not sure how to do that on the client, unfortunately. Press escape, apparently. Or Windows key tab. Or in all the talks. Then we have Eric Van Bilsen of Gridgy. If you haven't followed Gridgy blog, there's lots of great content on there. Entity component systems, a different approach to coding. This one sounds really interesting as well. Entity component systems is a programming paradigm that takes composition over inheritance to the extreme. It's a way to look at programming from a different perspective, mostly used for high performance games. It's an interesting concept in its own right. I am definitely Sounds like something I will learn a lot from. We have 2 sessions by Ray Konopka, how tab controls can ruin desktop user experience and creating custom title bars in VCL applications. Then Bruno from TMS Software has Thriller, a Delphi web app in 5 working days. This is kind of a case study, if you will, that we built or Otnus had this idea for a web app and emailed Bruno, and Bruno and his team put together a great web app developed in Delphi within 5 working days and got it published and ready to go. So this is great. You're going to have access to the source code, how you can download it and check that out. Then we have Ian Barker, move your UI to the 23rd century, building a data dashboard with Delphi and Skia engaged. This is really cool. I saw a preview of what he's working on. Great stuff here. Make sure I haven't got on to tomorrow yet. Let's see. Just checking the questions here. Looks like we're good. Will the sessions be recorded for future viewing, especially useful for those with different time zones and tied up during part of the schedule? Yes, they will be. You are encouraged to attend live because that's where you get your chance to get answers to your questions. The Q&A is only available live, but you can catch the replay later if you see something and you're like, wow, this is great, I have to share this with my team. You can do that. You can grab the replay for them, or if you just can't attend a session, you can attend via replay. Why does the cloud matter for Delphi developers? With Dion, and maximize your Delphi productivity with Alistair Christie. If you're not familiar with Alistair Christie, he has his book on coding in Delphi, or code faster in Delphi, and he's going to cover some of the tips from that in this session here. Just how to be more productive. Also, if you go out to his learndelphi.tv, he has lots of great video content available there. If you aren't registered, which I'm not sure how you'd be on the session if you're not registered, make sure you do come in and grab the early bird all access pass so that you can access the entire conference, including the live sessions and the replays, etc. So come check that out. And with that, I do have a couple of those things I want to cover here. Just check the questions again here. If you can't hear me, which you can't hear what I'm saying right now, you need to disconnect and reconnect. Most of the slides will be available. Most of them will be available. So if you go to the individual session page, there will be a download link right about here where you can, oops, what did I click? Where you can download the slides, and there'll be a replay available as well. So right now you're viewing this session, but if you do want to, during the replay, there will be slides and stuff available here. I don't know if they'll have slides available for this one. Maybe I will. I do have a couple slides, which I'm going to hop over to now. So wanted to highlight a few various sites available that make up the Embarcadero ecosystem, Delphi ecosystem. There's delphi.embarcadero.com. This was, there it is, from our Delphi's 25th birthday anniversary. Lots of really cool content here. If you haven't seen it, come check it out. You can find out some of the stuff about the historical Delphi. You can, there's interviews, let's see, lots of great videos. Somewhere there's an interview we did with, it's on here. It needs to be easier to find. There's a great infographic. Splash screens are available here. Here's an infographic of the history of Delphi. compiling a million lines of code. Where is the... Somewhere, it must be down here in the 25 stories. There's so much content on here. You can download Community Edition for free from here. You can also find the Delphi 1 client server is available for free. And there's the interview with Chuck J and Andrew H. This is fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's also on our YouTube channel. My.embarcadero.com is the portal for downloading licenses and downloads and stuff like that. So updates when you get a new version, get your license keys and such are all available from my.embarcadero.com. Oops, I put that in the wrong window. Put the link in here. LearnDelphi.org is a collection of learning resources for Delphi, which actually I've been talking to some MVPs about getting some updates on here. So if you want to learn some stuff about Delphi or have somebody want to introduce you to Delphi, that's a great place to check out. And blogs.embarcadero.com, which I'll jump out to LearnDelphi.org. And check out some of the resources here. There's books, videos, classes, download software, links to communities, etc. Yes, there are interviews with Anders Hausberg on there. The reason there's a cost for replays is just because we want to encourage people to get on here early to watch it, because it's also thanks to working with our sponsors, we're able to make it free for now. But then because if you get on now, then you get to take advantage of the sponsorships offers and stuff like that. So that's the reason for the cost of the replay. Is it pronounced Delphi or Delphi? That is the million-dollar question. If you're from Europe or if you're from the US, we say Delphi here. If you're outside the US, they say Delphi. I say it both ways. Frequently, I default to Delphi. But either way is correct. There's a question here about how to get the ebook pack. There will be an email follow-up with that has the details about how to get the ebooks, for download links and stuff there. You'll get that via email. This is the blogs.embarcadero. I'm assuming you're probably already aware of this, but you want to definitely check this out. This is where we post all of our details about what's going on, updates, and lots of tutorials, articles, how-tos, etc. Also want to call out to Delphi Praxis, which is a great Delphi community where you can go out here and post questions and get answers. There's a lot of good activity going on here. You see just in the past few hours, there's posts or comments, and depending on where you're at, more frequently than that. So very active Delphi community there. There's also the Delphi Reddit, which I'm frequently on as well. Check that out. We do have a session on Castle Game Engine, which is presentation at DelphiCon. Fantastic. Yeah, so check that out if you're not already aware of that one, how to use Castle Game Engine to build games with for Delphi. There's also Delphi feeds. This is aggregation of a number of blog posts from around the internet, blog sites around the internet related to Delphi. So you can find out information about those here. There's a session about DelphiCon, post about DelphiCon here as well. Same one, yes. So definitely check that out if you're not checking on there already. Just like Delphi in Philadelphia. Here in Europe, we do not say Washington. Instead, there's only one right response, the Greek mode, Delphi. Yes, so that is correct. The Delphi is named for the place in Greece, and it's pronounced Delphi. So that probably is the technically correct way to say it. Landerson points out there's lots of great videos in Portuguese at Delphi University.com/BR. Let me make sure I put that. How long will the replays be available? The replay should be available for at least for a while. Enough time for everybody to get access to all of them. I don't know. I can't say forever. There we go. That's the Great White Lake. So we do have a huge population of Delphi developers from Brazil, and so Landers puts this helps maintain this Delphi University in Portuguese. So that's a great resource. So I believe the original pronunciation of the person that coined the name for it said Delphi, but for the programming language. So yeah, you can debate it all you want. Okay. Patrick says Delphi in France. Okay, yeah. Like I said, mostly gets pronounced Delphi in the US, Delphi everywhere else. Either's fine. There is no pronunciation police that's going to show up and tell you you're saying it. So when to call out the, oh, that's right. You can go to here. We have a list of communities you can find. If you're, I think there's a link to get things added here as well. If you're aware of a community that's not on here, you can get it added to the list. But here's a list, a number of communities around Delphi in different languages, C++ Builder. So check those out. Stack Overflow is a great place to get answers to your questions, although there are rules about how you ask questions on Stack Overflow. Read existing questions and read how to ask questions on Stack Overflow. Otherwise, your questions will be closed, and it can be very frustrating. And even though I have a lot of Stack Overflow rep and been on there for a long time, occasionally my questions get closed, and occasionally I get very frustrated about that. But there's logic behind it, I suppose. Just if you do follow the rules, you can get answers to your questions there. Just wanted to highlight a lot of great applications written in Delphi. Delphi, however you want to pronounce it. The FrameForge, really cool. They actually run a technical Grammy Award for FrameForge. We did a video highlighting it, showing off how it works. It's all built with Delphi. Lots of cool apps you can check out. The lights for the Niagara Falls in the US. Niagara Falls is a big waterfall, and there's some lights that project on it. And the control system for the lights is all built in Delphi. FL Studio is a really popular sequencing software built in Delphi. Rise of Legions, Age of Wonders, 1Password for Windows, Heidi SQL, Kiss, lots and lots of great software built with Delphi. And conferences going on with Delphi. They actually are back to having physical conferences. I probably will still be doing the virtual conferences mostly for a while, but hopefully you get a chance to be in Brazil. Haven't been there the last couple of years, but have been there every year before that. This is from Delphi, or Econ is a big conference over in Europe. Marco was there for that one. I think the local or anybody in Europe attended physically, but then the speakers that were from the US attended virtually. This is from the event in Brazil, and this is from Econ 23 here. So uh, a Delphi event in Poland. There are events going on all around the world. Oh, actually, you can find out more about those at embarcadero.com/events. I can bring that up here. There is actually, I see a couple comments in here about uh, Delphi at schools, and that actually we're getting a lot more traction with schools picking up um, using Delphi in their curriculum all around the world. So look at that, all these DelphiCon events going on. Oh my goodness, it's all full of that. But there's other stuff besides DelphiCon if you scroll past it. Here, Dev Lounge in Portuguese, so multiple languages on here as well. Test-driven development with Delphi, Jens Fudge, MVP. He's actually going to be part of our Fire Deck panel as well at DelphiCon. So check that out. Oh, Bruce says the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls lights specifically. Are there any live conferences in the US? There was, Kerry had his. The US, unfortunately, we tend to be really spread out, so we don't always get those, but maybe we can organize something and see what we can do. Wear a helmet. I was going to wear my helmet this morning. Maybe I'll wear that later in the day. I do have a nice Delphi helmet. See, I also pronounce GIF or GIF both ways, and that confuses people too. A few people are having audio issues, and I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you want to compete? Yes, if you're, that's a good tip. I will just, no reason to repeat that. Okay, let me go back here. I think that's it for what I wanted to cover today. Oh, I wanted to point out GetIt Now. So if you want to see all the stuff that's available in GetIt, you can find that through GetIt Now. It is a web interface to GetIt. So it has actually has a 10, or it has everything for 11 and 10.4 in here. So you can check out what's available through GetIt and then go to the GetIt client in Rad Studio, Delphi, or C++ Builder to download and install it. Some of these are available only for update subscription customers. So for example, these things here are only available if you have subscription, and then there's other ones that are available for everybody. So it's both a collection of open source or sample applications, as well as applications that extend Delphi, Rad Studio, and C++ Builder. Ended abruptly, soundtrack looks okay. I'm just going through the questions here and answering any questions that are, there's a lot of questions. Okay, so Bruce says apparently the lights shine on both sides of Niagara Falls, but they shine from Canadian side. So All right, so apparently that audio disconnect, reconnect thing works, switching modes. So the question here about Parnassus and GetIt, I think it's available in GetIt right now, isn't it? If you go to subscription required, yeah, it's available in GetIt. I believe it's available in 11 and 10.4 both. If you have questions about specific topics, you can join the sessions related to those topics as well to find out more. Although we are going to have a secret session that is going to be a general Q&A panel for ask any questions you might have. If you want to join that session, you need to refer people to DelphiCon. So let's see, I can get to that link. Yeah, if you go to the share this event, so once you're logged in, if you go to share this event, if you share, and I don't have it because I'm logged in as a administrator, but if you share the DelphiCon and get people registered, refer people, then you can attend the super secret session, which is super secret, but I just talked about it, so I guess it's not too secret yet. But if you have questions for topics that weren't covered in other sessions, you can attend that session and ask your questions there. Details to come. High DPI, I believe there's a session on high DPI. If not, oh, there it is. It did come up. So yeah. I don't see the details on super secret session. Oh, well, apparently that's how secret it is. How long after the presentation before we get access to the presentation? Depends. There's a few of us working on this, and it's a crazy amount of time that goes into this to get these reposted, but we do our best to get them posted right away. Hopefully, most of them will be posted this week. Some of them might not be posted until next week. Next week is Thanksgiving here in the US, so I might be eating turkey with my family. But we will do our best to get them posted within the next couple of weeks if we can't get them posted this week. Oh, so apparently some of the bookmarks in Navigator still aren't available in Delphi 11. So okay, so it looks like most everybody's getting their audio working again. That's great. So that's good. You attended this session, figured out the audio, so that when you attend the next sessions, you'll be able to get those working. Okay, so I'm not sure why Parnassus is not in GetIt. Go to Quality Portal. That's another page you should be familiar with. Quality.embarcadero.com. And you can post a bug, an issue, if it's not already posted, that is missing from 11. And I will also send an email about that because I'm surprised at that as well. Oh, it's time for Marco's session. Oh my goodness, I've ran over. All right, well, see you all in the next session.